The COVID-19 pandemic has dramatically changed the South African consumers' shopping behaviour. Online sales have reached a tipping point where consumers are increasingly using online in favour of in-store shopping. This has resulted in an e-commerce revolution in South Africa. Cassidi Beck, Business Development Manager at the Buy Now, Pay Later Fintech Payflex, joins us now for more insight. Cassidi, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to The Globe.
Thank you for having me, Simphiwe. I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Now, retail and businesses have seen a lot of changes over the last 4 months of the lockdown. Am I correct to say that online shopping has certainly, I would say, accelerated at a rapid pace in the last few months?
For sure, definitely. I think the retail industry has been hardest hit by COVID-19 and the pandemic and lockdown. And because of this, we've definitely seen an acceleration to online retail, e-commerce, online shopping.
Well, online shopping, Cassidi, is not the only major change that retailers have had to deal with. So what are some of the other key changes seen in the last few months?
So I think, first of all, we've definitely seen brick and mortar stores, your physical stores, suffering a huge amount due to the coronavirus. We've seen foot traffic to physical stores decrease a huge amount as consumers are really only going out into the world if they really have to for their necessities. And we're even seeing the necessities move online now as well. And I mean, if we even look at the new shopping experience customers are going through, I'm sure for you, when you go shopping for your tie and your suit, it's the experience of going into the store, looking at the colors, being able to touch. But now with sanitizing and screens and having to wear a mask, that whole experience is, the retail therapy, the psychological benefits are definitely not the same anymore. So now we're sitting at home with our safety and not having to worry about contracting the virus. And that's definitely, altered the retail shopping experience, I think, for a long time.
I mean, that is the issue here, because as I've just mentioned, when you go into a shop buying a suit or a tie, I mean, I need to physically feel it and check the cut of the suit and whether it complements my stature and, my body shape. But then, despite that, we've seen so many complaints with regards to people buying stuff online. And then when it gets delivered, it's totally different from what they've seen online. But then it's still seen the growth of online shopping.
Yes, definitely. So I think this coronavirus has been a tipping point for e-commerce. We don't really have a choice anymore. As we become more comfortable with online and more trusting and our products arrive, we start to trust the online process. And I mean, in South Africa alone, we've seen 40% increase in online shoppers and 65% of South Africans saying they don't want to go to physical stores anymore. They'd prefer to shop online. And I think a big element of this as well is, no doubt, coronavirus has financially impacted consumers. And because of this, they're looking for new ways to shop, new ways to spend their money, and more responsibly without incurring more debt, which has seen a huge uptake in, your buy now, pay later options, where you can shop over 6 weeks, that you receive your purchase immediately, and without incurring any debt, it's interest-free.
So how does the South African e-commerce landscape compare with the rest of the world?
Sure. So I think on a global scale, we're seeing, even South Africa, it's all very much the same. We're seeing, if I look at Zara, for example, on a global scale, and locally, they've had to close many of their physical stores. But the e-commerce is booming. I mean, from April, we've seen 95% percentage increase in visitors from last year to this year. So I think it just shows you globally, e-commerce is the place to be. And if businesses want to come out of this pandemic, it's no longer a luxury. It's essential to consider moving your business online.
And how have consumer needs and shopping behavior evolved at this time? Do you get a sense that more and more South Africans are likely to adapt to the revolution of online shopping?
100%. So I think we've been moving to the digital space over time anyway, but this pandemic has certainly accelerated this change. And as we want to be more safe, secure, healthy from the environment, we are certainly moving to online. And I definitely think because lockdown in particular it's been for more than 100 days, it's been long enough to entrench the habit of shopping online and becoming very comfortable with shopping online.
And we've seen some of the global companies such as Zara looking to go online with their shopping offerings. So what does this signify for the future of online retail?
Yes, so I think we are definitely, as Zara goes online, we're seeing more and more new merchants, those that have only had physical stores, they're all moving online because if they want to survive, if they want to continue their business successfully, we need to have an online store. It's becoming more and more critical, and I think not even for the younger generations, but just generations across the board in general.
And how can South African retailers harness the online retail opportunity?
So I think it's so important to have this omni-channel, to combine your physical store with your online store, to really ensure your brand presence comes out through your online store, that it's seamless, fast, you work out the kinks as soon as you can. Because it's an oversaturated field as it is, and it's only going to become more saturated as more and more businesses move online. So you want to understand your target market, your audience. You want to be seamless. You want to have as many payment options as possible, and you want to be able to satisfy your customers.
And just before I let you go, Cassidi, are we likely to see the move to online shopping, move even beyond these health crises?
Oh, for sure. As I mentioned earlier, as lockdown has gone past 100 days, we've really had the time to kind of entrench this habit of shopping online, to become comfortable with online, to trust online, the process of online. And as more of your favorite stores go online, and as we become increasingly wary of the outside world, if I say it like that, I think we're definitely going to see this online habit of shoppers to stay for a long time, if not become the new normal.
All right, Cassidi, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time. Hey?
Thank you for having me, Simphiwe.
That's an absolute pleasure. That was Cassidi Beck, the Business Development Manager at the Buy Now, Pay Later Fintech PayFlex.